Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Into the Red Rabbit Hole Conspiracy Theories. I'm Nighthawk, one of your hosts, and we're going to go over a few of the intro stuff that we normally have to do in order to go through all the uh, censorship. And there is a lot of it, trust me. So, that being said, the copyright disclaimer is as this channel may use some copyrighted materials without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the Fair Use Act. Now, the Fair Use Act is the Copyright Act of 1976. So, the Copyright Act of 1976, or otherwise, we will disclose it here as the Fair Use Act. Copyright disclaimer is Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel and all the podcasts on the channel, including William Nighthawk. Under Section 17, subsection 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known as the Fair Use Act, makes allowances for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and general knowledge only, per Title 17 U.S.C. subsection 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known as the Fair Use Act. Whew, okay, and that includes the music and the intro and all that too, guys. Just so you know, and knowing's half the battle. All right, let's get into it here. Let's bring some stuff up on the screen. Now, those of you that watched that little 40-minute or so video I released tonight about the topic tonight, gave a brief rundown on just what we were going to discuss tonight. Now, very sensitive subject, so I'm going to put this disclaimer out there also, that, in fact, let me do this here real quick before we get into the thick of things here. Let me, because we're going to be talking some pretty creepy and just disgusting crap, okay? Where's my disclaimer? Okay, parental advisory, explicit content. We're going to put that up there for a minute or two. Only reason being is because some of the subject matter has to do with some inappropriate subjects. I don't have that disgusting of pictures to post on here, but I do have some pictures to post. Some of them have already been on the channel before, so you all, if you've been here before, you know exactly what to look for. So that being said, if you can, like, heart, and share this out, and subscribe, please, to the channels again. Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. And I think that pretty much covers all the bases. But tonight we're going to get into a couple topics tonight that are just really, really interesting that we've gotten into previously in part one of this whole systematic world we're living in, where things just don't really add up unless you take a look at the whole picture. Okay, and what I mean by the whole picture is the whole picture. Okay, I'm going to go to the comment sections real quick. Let me put this up there. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to go to the comments real quick and say hello to a few people. Stuart, good to see you. Tombstone, good to see you. Susie B, good to see you. Let's see. Tombstone, Susie B, Stewart, David, good to see you. My lovely wife Tracy, good to see you again. And let's see here. I think that's everybody that's signed in so far on the chat. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'll try to say, hello to everybody sometime during the program here. But as I said before, the disclaimer tonight is definitely one to cautious, to use caution. If you've got children in the room, you might want to, watch this first and then play it back to them if you think it's appropriate for them. I'm just saying that because technically I think it's appropriate, and it's information that couldn't hurt for children to know. But the whole stranger danger thing pretty much covers it too when you're a child. So, anyways, we're gonna get into here. Let me go back to my pictures. And let's see here. Everybody's saying hello to everybody, so that's nice. Okay. Way to be, family. Way to be. Don't forget to support us, like, heart, and share this out. And go to the YouTube and subscribe to the channel, please, because I noticed a couple people unsubscribed, whether it was their own doing or not. You just might want to confirm that you're still subscribed. That way we have it covered. And then follow us on Facebook too, okay? And Instagram and all that. So more Facebook than Instagram, but it is what it is. Anyways, you all remember last week when I was talking about or not last week, it was probably 2 weeks ago now. I'll bring up one picture here of the vampire cults and the satanic cults working together and Illuminati being entwined in that. Just like the Illuminati's entwined in everything, and as far as our lives go. And big corporations like BlackRock, famous families like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Carnegies, those type of families, old blood families, families that are related in bloodlines to royalty, like the royal family of the UK. This is all connected, okay? And I can't make it any more plainer than that. It is literally all connected. Whether we call it a demon, whether we call it an alien, whether we call it a vampire, whether we call it, whatever you want, a shapeshifter. These beings are legit. They are 100% legit. Okay. The research that I've been doing has uncovered quite a bit of information. Okay. There is a race of aliens that look like this, which is kind of creepy because it does look like a vampire. Okay. There's a race of aliens, and you can almost pass for a lizard person too, because they talk about the reptilian race, being in charge ultimately, which is part of the whole theory too. So part of the shadow government, secret cabal. But they probably look more like this. Now, this is supposed to be an actual photograph, I believe. But that is that. And then, of course, the signs, like I said, the V with the circle, which means that it's a vampire cult area. So there is a cult already established in the area. And then the V inside the circle with the line through it is a vampire feeding area. Now, let me get this straight, okay? When I talk about a feeding area, okay, we're talking where either humans turn up missing completely, okay, vanishing out of thin air, most likely children or homeless. So those are the two areas of the population you want to keep an eye on the most, is missing children and homeless population. And we're not just talking feeding as far as bloodletting, okay, as far as drinking the adrenochrome, okay, the blood. We're also talking organ harvesting, okay, which is a big one with satanic cults and with other societies that are intertwined in this. Okay, organ harvesting is a big one. A lot of money in that. Okay, and of course, some of these people, that's all they think about is money and gold, 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 and silver. So, anyways, and then you're talking basic human trafficking for sex. Basically, you know, human trafficking pimps are what they are. Lowest of low. So, and then of course the whole human sacrifice thing, and the whole, and I hate to say this, folks, I really do, the whole grinding children's teeth up and mixing it in with the fast food industry, burger meat, that has been apparently reported, and fingers being found in fast food sandwiches. If y'all recall the old roast beef thing about, must have been probably now 5 years ago, when that young man was eating his roast beef sandwich and he bit down and he thought he got into a piece of gristle, and he's chewing it, and finally he spits it out, and here it's a human finger, or part of a finger, I should say. Um, yeah, pretty gross. Pretty gross. I don't think I'd want to do that. And I've eaten bugs, everybody. So I'm military, so that's just me. Um, yeah, that is pretty gross. But whether you call them aliens, demons, shapeshifters, all that, they come in all shapes and sizes. And as this picture can show you, you have the tall Nordics, you have the tall gray, the short gray, the tall blue, the tall pale. I mean, it goes on and on and on. They're reptilians. There's like seven, maybe 6 or 7 different races of reptilian alone. Some are terrestrial here on this world, and some are not. Some are from another dimension. Some are from this world. Some are from a parallel world. Some are from another dimension. Some are even from another time. Okay. Like in the future, like could be us if we evolved over time, you know, from whatever our shadow government's doing to us. But basically, we have all been bred, for a slave race. And that's the way it's been since day one. We are a slave species. Okay. Now, there's some talk that our government made a deal with some alien races that if they didn't wipe us all out, that, you know, basically they wouldn't destroy our world and everybody on it, that mankind would have a chance to live as long as they could come back every, say 5,000 years or whatever, or periodically, and harvest some humans for food or research or whatever you want to call it. Um, that agreement was done and ratified again by Eisenhower, at a secret meeting in 1950s. Um, so now that you got a background kind of on what I'm talking about, um, the last podcast I did with vampire cults, pointing out what to look for, who's involved, the shadow government, some parts of the military are involved, some parts of, well, the 3-lettered, the alphabet agencies. I mean, you all know those, the alphabet agencies. I'll leave it at that. And then, you got places like DARPA and HARP that can actually be connected to it too, if I did the research even further. Um, but I don't really think I have to. I think the dots are connected, and we just need to figure out how to handle it. They're still missing all those children in Maui. They're still missing that 60,000 children in the Ukraine. They're still missing thousands and thousands of children from Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. Um, you know, there it's amazing how many children are missing in our world every freaking day of our lives, and that we never really considered what could be causing it. Okay. Well, you compile this broadcast with my previous one, the part ones of this series, and you'll find out my theory on it. And my theory is pretty valid. I'll go even further and point out that we are currently in some kind of a secret war. I know I'm not talking Ukraine. Okay, I'm talking right here in the good old US of A and around the world and in some of the major cities around the world. You're going to see MASH camps, medical camps set up in certain areas. There's a big one set up in New York City right now. And the reports that I have coming in, well, here, I'll put the reports up on the board here on the screen, and I will let you all decide for yourselves what I'm trying to say. First off, here's a couple pictures of the inside of the tents and them working on children. Okay. And you can see it's the Good Samaritan's purse that's actually helping out with a lot of the supplies and stuff for it. Okay. So that was basically one of my references and contacts that I had was through Good Samaritan's purse. Here's a picture of one of the physicians or nurses working on a child. Now, it's been said that they have been pulling children out of the ground, and I'm talking just kids, like little kids from Haiti and Africa, and just kids that were basically bred here too for some nefarious reason. Human trafficking children, all kinds of children are being pulled out of tunnels and stuff underneath some of these major cities. And I'm guessing that they're closing some of the Walmarts to have them as processing centers, because if anybody's been in a major Walmart, you know that some of them have the underground storage facilities that they could connect with tunnels. So that could be a way to process, these children and get them back into society without being noticed. But it's said that several people have stated that, well, here's one communication that was brought up, that POTUS will still need to take over the communications network to report this. Cabal media would not report it accurately. People living around Central Park and such can't see the makeshift hospitals full of children. People would panic. People would panic. And then it says declassified on the bottom of it. So apparently that was a classified communication. Here's another one that I'm going to bring up. They are being pulled from the tunnels. There's a MASH hospital set up in Central Park, New York, is screaming for body bags. They estimate they need 100,000. 100,000. They estimate they will lose 4 to 6% of the victims they pulled out alive, horrible torture, and sexual abuse. Many were bred for this and have never seen the light of day. Some are deformed. All, oh man, I got that covered by the comment here. Let me get rid of that comment. All are basically, come on, hold on. Okay. Some have never seen the light of day. Some are deformed. All are malnourished. Many need respirators. And, that brings me to my next point. Many need respirators. Do you remember how many respirators President Trump requested to be made and shipped all around the world to all these other countries? That's one of the connection points here, okay? Is the medical equipment that was manufactured here in the United States was sent to third world countries without worry of repayment, okay? Without worry of ever getting the money back for making this stuff, okay? Because this is a humanity crisis, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there, okay? Let me continue to read here. All right. They have been pools deformed. Officers who have been in the tunnels, the air is stagnant. That's why they need the respirators. Officers who have been in the tunnels are losing it. They are issued barf bags before they go in. There are bodies piled up. I don't know how true this is, but one guy said some of the bodies have tiny bites taken out of them. They are speculating that the live, starving children started to try eating off the corpses. I don't believe that is the actual fact of that. I don't care how hungry somebody is, they're not going to bite another human, whether they're dead or alive, unless they're a zombie. Or some other nefarious reason, like a vampiric type of a virus, which is my basic, theory on that portion of what that is titled there, written down. But those are from witnesses in New York City. Okay. There is so much going on. Here is a picture of two of the military guys inside one of the MASH tents. If you look at the board behind them, it has up in the left corner. It has the word age, AGE. Okay, and then it has whatever they have going down the side, breaking down categories like infant. I think it says infant to I think it says 12 months, and then it says infant to I think 2 years, and then so on and so on. And then it has up above, what looks like to be stats for, say, blood work or whatnot, body temperature, core temperatures, that type of stuff. Basically, triage stuff. Red blood cell counts, that kind of stuff. But yeah, and notice they're all wearing their masks and doing that whole thing there, which I find is amusing because, that tells me that these military guys don't want to contract whatever is being brought up virus-wise, okay? And if you think back, there have been mentioned that there is a new virus that's going to be released, okay? And, with all that's been going on, you can't help but think, well, maybe they created it, or maybe it was something that they uncovered. Maybe it was something they uncovered, Why did they lock us all up in our homes, during the first so-called jab session, okay? I don't think it suited us to be locked up in the homes. They kept us in our homes to keep us from seeing some things, okay? Plain and simple. Now, here's my next connection, okay, with this whole, and remember, this is a conglomerate. This is a conglomerate of reptilian activity, shadow government activity, vampiric cults, satanic cults, and alien activity, okay? No matter, like I said in the beginning of this broadcast, no matter what you label these things, they are demons, okay? Plain and simple, okay? They have that demonic spirit. They are demons. They eat the flesh of humans. They're demons. They drink the blood of humans. They're demons. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what else to call it but a demon. Okay. So, anyways, getting into this next part, on October 4th, we are going to be having a FEMA alert test, national alert. Okay. 30 minutes long, this test is supposed to be. 30 minutes, okay? They are using cell towers, TV and radio station towers, and satellite dishes. They're piping that 30-minute long broadcast into every electronic device, including microwave signals. Bet you didn't think of that, huh? I bet nobody out there thought that their microwave could actually probably transmit a signal. Well, they can. Okay, microwave signals. That's where they came up with laser technology for the laser weapons that you see nowadays. Okay, so the direct energy weapons, that's what they are. The dues are that. They are microwave. Okay. Now, let me go up here. And this further confirms what I was stating. William Tompkins, the abduction and harvesting and eating of children by the Draco Reptilian Illuminati. Okay. This is about as factual and straightforward as you're going to find out there for information. Okay. Getting back to the broadcast, we have this. Okay. At approximately 2:20 p.m., my guess is they're going to start it at 2:22 p.m. Eastern time, but they say 2:20. But I would say from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock Eastern time on the 4th, just have your phone off, your TV, unplug your TV, unplug your microwave, unplug any electronic device, turn and remove the batteries from your cell phones, and put earplugs in for that hour. Because you don't want to have the mistake of overhearing somebody else's cell phone playing in the distance and playing those tones and those frequencies. And I'm going to explain to you why. Okay. So bear with me. This all connects. Okay. This all connects together. Just please bear with me. Okay. Anyways, this test is going to last for 30 minutes. Okay. On October 4th. Okay. They will begin broadcasting in 30 minutes. Okay, it's a conglomerate of FEMA and CDC and in a lot of these other agencies, these alphabet agencies again comes up. Okay, and as we know, frequency and vibration kind of work hand in hand. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, why would a normal broadcast of the emergency broadcast system lasts 30 minutes? Back in the days when I was a child, we'd hear it for probably a minute or two, and that was it. Okay, that was it at length, and it was just the buzzing, and you'd see the thing on the TV, and that was it. Okay, but not 30 minutes. So you have to ask yourself, why are we talking 30 minutes in duration? Okay, well, folks, it has to do with the jab. Okay, if you got the jab, that's fine. You know, nobody's going to hate you or make fun of you for getting the jab. But I mean, I was fighting cancer, full blown cancer, during this whole thing of the whole cough thing in 2019, 2020. And I didn't get sick once, and I was out in the public too. So, um, but anyways, getting back to the vibrations and the frequencies, certain tone frequencies and stuff can set off things inside your body. Okay, it's proven. Okay, um, we have right now we have a 5G activated zombie apocalypse. Military attorney says that lipid nanoparticles contain pathogens that can be released by pulsed 5G signal. Okay, these are all right off of news broadcasts and stuff, and through certain agencies that I've gotten this information through. Here's another one. Emergency alert, approximately 2:20, October 10th, 30-minute long. Okay, we already saw that one. Okay, let me go up here. This is what we're talking about when we talk about them taking adrenochrome. Okay, they take it and they can harvest it from animals. Okay, now what you would find in a site like this is a lot of these mutilated animals and stuff. You know, yeah, some of the organs are harvested. Some of the stuff is actually taken and drank, like the blood. But that's why a lot of these bodies show up mutilated and drained of blood. But what you'll find out with a lot of these vampiric cults and satanic cults and stuff that are out there, and just a lot of these secretive groups, is that they do a disinformation campaign to make it look like this is aliens, okay, and not the vampiric and satanic cults. So they figure if they take and they cut an ear off or remove an eyeball or cut a tongue out, you know, and drain the blood, you know, because, hell, you know, they're vampires, they need to eat, and the satanic cults use the blood and blood rituals. So, you know, I mean, they need the blood, let's face it, okay. But it's not bad enough that they're doing that to animals, but they're doing it to humans. Okay. They're doing it to humans. And I apologize for these pictures, but, you know, we have to remember that we are, what have I always said? We are cattle. Okay. You know, we're born into this world naked with nothing, and we leave this world with naked and nothing. And ironically, while we're in this world, we are controlled, we are manipulated, and we are threatened by several different ways of doing it. Yes, the men in black, the dreaded men in black. They are class A intimidators, okay? Then, of course, we have the research and studies on us as humans and how we react to certain brain waves. That's been proven through CIA documentation out of DC. Hypnotic trances, you know, they did this too to see if we could, you know, be hypnotically programmed through watching TV, or listening on radios. We've all seen and heard about the secret underground bases, okay, and Area 51 also, and Area 52 and all that. And here's one I'll bet you all didn't realize either. the connection to the black-eyed kids. Okay. Those of you that don't know anything about the black-eyed kids, and there's some black-eyed adults too, is that they will show up just out of nowhere, seemingly just pop into existence. And they will ask you politely, like little kids would, Mister, I need a ride to get something from my house. Can you drive me to my house? Or ma'am, can I come inside? I'm thirsty, or I'm cold. They're going to try and play that child thing on you to get into your car or into your home, where they can basically use their demonic influences on you. Okay. It's said that these are alien hybrids or possibly vampiric hybrids. Okay. And remember, because of the one alien race is a vampire race. Okay. It is a vampiric race. Okay. Okay. So, and with all the genetic testing and stuff that's been going on, and manipulation, gene manipulation, and all that, it's no wonder, But that frequency, we have to be careful, because that frequency is going to cause all kinds of problems for us. Okay, it's going to do something. What? I'm not sure. Whether it makes our body react in a certain way, whether it's through the jab that some of the people have had, and the backup jabs. I'm not sure how many jabs you have to get in order to have a problem. But I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's a lot more than just twice. If you know what I mean. Because some of us were fooled once and fooled twice, and after that, nope, didn't get fooled no more. So, and no, I didn't get the jab, so I'm fine there. But yeah, you watch what happens. And mark my words, and I'm telling you right now, we have to be careful. There is something going on underneath our feet. Okay. The Walmarts are being closed down. They're housing children in the Walmarts. That's been proven. Detainment camps, whatever you want to call them. And now this, with the MASH units that are being set up in several cities in the United States and other countries, that are removing children from underground tunnels and bunkers and stuff, that are having a difficult time adjusting to life in the sunlight. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because it's factual. Now, getting back to the black-eyed kids, the photograph that I showed you all last time on the first podcast of this, I'm going to put up here, and I'm going to show you something. Okay. Here is the photograph of the vampiric cult symbols, some of the symbols. I'm not even sure if this is all of them. This is what I've found through my studies. Okay. It's always going to be a V-like, okay, which of course is vampiric. Okay. Now, we're not talking, the fancy, good-looking, Twilight movie vampires. Okay. We're not talking like the whatever that one show was on TV that everybody was ogling over, Vampire Diaries. We're not talking vampires like that. We're talking kinds that are just deceitful and demonic. Okay, we're talking they're everywhere. Take a look at this. This is the individual that wrote the scripts for the Matrix and the Terminator movies. Okay. Take a look at her insignia down there by my name. It is a upside down V inside a circle with a line through it. Okay? With a line through it. Okay? Now, what did I tell you? The V with a line through it inside the circle represents a vampire cult feeding ground. In other words, she's saying to all these other groups that it's okay if you could either feed on her, or you could feed on somebody that she has lined up, okay? Or she's just letting everybody else know out there, secretively, that she knows where the feeding grounds are, okay? So, but that is the same as that symbol that person has, and that further connects the connection to Hollywood also. You see a lot of satanic stuff in Hollywood coming out, and a lot of vampiric movies coming out of Hollywood. So, but yeah, that is pretty much what I wanted to bring to everybody tonight. And it's something that I've been studying for quite a while. I don't want to say I'm an expert on it, because there are no experts in the fields that we all research. But being a so-called monster hunter, if you want to call it that, a demon hunter, whatever you want to call it, everything ties together. Okay, everything ties together. I don't know how much plainer I can say it. Okay, I don't know how much more I can discuss with you all about my theories and stuff, and the way I've got these connections and lines drawn from dot to dot. I mean, it is all literally connected. All the fires that you see, all the factory fires, the wars, the floods, everything, the missing people, those are all distractions to keep us away from seeing the obvious that's been right in front of our face the entire time. And that is this, that we are born and harvested. Okay? We are born in slavery and we die as slaves. Oh, God gave us free will. Yes, He did, to give us all hope. But when it comes down to it, this world that we live in right here, right now, belongs to Satan. Because Jesus told Satan himself, "You are the God of this world." So, who do we pray to when we go to church? If we pray to God, who are we praying to? That's my question. Is everything just a rouge? Is everything just a made up? The old families that are actually in control of our world, that have been around for thousands and thousands of years, since the Anunnaki have been here? They talk about the way some of these prominent families are connected, how every president was connected by blood, believe it or not. They talk about how Obama was related to Trump, like seventh cousin or some crap like that. Okay. I mean, I imagine if you dig down deep enough, you probably will find that a lot of people are related together because of the times of the Bible with Noah and stuff. Um, but I can't help but think that maybe the sons and daughters of Cain are pulling the strings. Maybe that bloodline is pulling the strings, and that the fallen are in charge. Can't help but wonder that. Okay. So, when you're going to church on Sunday morning or Saturday night, whenever you pray, or you go to the mosque and you're praying to Allah, make sure you're praying to the right one. Imagination is a powerful thing. You can think something into existence, like a tulpa. Okay. Tulpas are real. Okay. We need to be careful. I'm going to put this out there too, that in this research, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm really not. But this does send a chill down my spine. And it's like that old saying. My brother Ryan out there, and Shane, and everybody knows this too. They remind me all the time of it. Billy ain't afraid of no man. But if Billy is afraid, you better be too. So, with that being said, um, I'm going to keep researching. I'm going to keep investigating. And I'll probably put the rest of these little lectures and information podcast on separately on recorded devices, because I don't trust the powers that be to let these broadcasts be up for very long before they start messing with me. Um, we all know from the past history that I've had with this channel that whenever there's sensitive subjects, wherever we get too close to that edge of the rabbit hole and peering down into it, and we see the powers that are doing what they're doing at that certain point in time, that they like to shut us down. I've had reports of dear friends of mine being chased and all that in vehicles. I can't tell you how many people I have had reports of that have been intimidated by men in black, by government ABC agencies. The one thing I guess I'm trying to do with this podcast is to make everybody aware. Okay. Stay aware, stay focused, stay alert, watch your six. Okay. Until next time, um, you just gone down a rabbit hole. How far you want to go is what I like to know. Let me know. Have a great night, everybody. Be safe. God bless. Remember, when you pray, pray to the Heavenly Father, not the God of this world. I'll see you in the morning, 10:30 a.m. Have a good night, everybody. question everything and be ready.